Just roll the clip. Alright, what's up guys? I am back here with a little bit of an unexpected video this week. As you guys just saw, I had actually put together some of that first intro to finally do the 3 things that I dislike about my Ducati Panigale 959. After what has happened this week, obviously it didn't really feel right to make that the topic of the video. I really wasn't in the headspace where I could even think about the things that I didn't like about this bike. As you guys have seen in the title already, my Ducati Panigale got stolen this week from my neighborhood on the Upper East Side of New York City. Now, I'm sure that many of you are going to flame me, give me some hate, shit on me for, you know, of course, my bike got stolen in Manhattan in New York City, like, obviously. But, you know, it really was just an unfortunate set of circumstances. I have been spending the first couple of weeks here figuring out where I'm going to be keeping and storing my bike in the city. That's why I was at Gotham Depot Moto earlier this week. You know, looking for a community of riders, a safe place, and this place actually really blew me away. They have facial recognition systems, 24/7 security in terms of all of the video feeds. Just a really, really cool group of guys run by Stefan and Ronnie. Just a really awesome motorcycle club, and one that I'm really excited to join. Obviously, my timeline has changed. But anyways, you know, I went and visited them on Monday. I was planning on dropping off the bike this weekend, early next week, because I was planning on riding this weekend, going down to Chelsea, had some plans with the bike. And in the meantime, I had it on my street in front of the apartment with tons of cameras on all of the other buildings. You would think that would deter some people here, but apparently not. So, you know, 11 p.m. on Tuesday night, I take the dog out for a walk. Everything's normal, the bike is there. Don't even think twice about it, walk by it, go upstairs, go to bed. Next morning, leave to take the dog to Central Park for, you know, every single morning, dogs are allowed off leash from 7 to 9 a.m. So we take them there, let them run, you know, especially with working from home, we need them to be tired out for the day. So we go and do that. I'm not even thinking about it, so I just walk right by where my bike was parked. And we're coming back, and it's a really, really nice day out. And, you know, I remember I'm talking to my girlfriend, you know, saying, I'm gonna go ride the bike down to Chelsea. I was gonna go to Belstaff's NYC flagship store, try on a couple of pairs of jackets, and we're walking down our street, and I see a mailman, and he has his cart parked in between 2 cars. And, you know, have you ever had a situation where you do like a double take? You're like, I thought I parked my bike there, or my car there. So this situation was like that. And I'm looking and I'm like, I'm pretty sure my bike was there. And then I'm like, no, it must not have been. Let me go check. A couple cars up, nothing's there. And then I come back and I see my cover just on the sidewalk, and my heart immediately drops because I know what's happened. I mean, and once your bike gets stolen, you're never finding it again. It's gone. I mean, it's in Queens, it's in Bronx. I mean, who knows? It could be states over by now. It's gone. Never gonna see it again. Definitely a really hard pill to swallow, especially when I was literally days away from having it safely stored in Gotham Depot Moto's shop. You know, so I immediately call the cops. Cops come, they're checking to see if they can get footage from any of the other, you know, superintendents or the people who manage the other buildings next to us. Really not all that much luck. They take me down to the station. I have to fill out a bunch of paperwork. It's sort of the standard, you know, all that stuff. Shout out to the 19th precinct in New York City. Really, really nice, helpful guys. They felt really bad about what happened. So I spent my whole morning there in the station, filed a report. But, you know, let me be clear. I have zero expectation of ever getting that bike back, nor do I know if I really would want it back after, you know, God knows whatever these thieves have done to it. It just sort of never be the same anyways. But in situations like these, you usually never see the bike again. You know, I can only imagine it was likely a couple of guys popped into the back of a truck and we're out of there. I mean, you know, we'll see if the footage turns anything up. It would at least be nice to see, you know, how it was stolen. But long story short, the Panigale is no more. And this is a pretty disappointing way for me to start my trip. Just my last video, I was talking about how my monitor broke in the move. So, I mean, people say that, you know, New York is a different beast and moving to New York is hard, and it really depends on how it impacts you and how it's hard. I mean, obviously these are, you know, very minimal problems in the grand scheme of things. I mean, I have a nice apartment, roof over my head, everything that I need, but just moving and, you know, getting acquainted to the big city, there are a lot of things that go wrong. And obviously I was in many ways naive to the fact that even for 48 hours, the bike would be safe on the street without being in a locked and secured garage. And I paid the price. So it's really disappointing. You know, I've done a lot of videos on this channel around the 959. It's my fourth motorcycle that I've owned, and, you know, for those of you who've been following around, those of you who've watched my other videos, it is by far and away my favorite bike that I've owned. And so it's also the first bike that was brand new to me. So I'm the only one who's ridden it. You know, I did the custom paint job. I did, you know, a bunch of other additions to it. It really was a bike that I felt, it sounds cheesy, but I felt very close to. I felt like it was my bike, you know, more so than the other used bikes that I had in the past, and it just really suited me and fit me so well. So it's a disappointment to have it stolen in this manner. You know, I'd considered selling it in New York City, but, you know, at least when you sell it, it's ultimately your decision and you feel like you chose to sell the bike. So even if it's hard, it still feels like it was up to you and it came down to your choice. Not so when someone decides to steal your bike. But that being said, the content for this channel is not going to change. I am going to be purchasing another motorcycle. Sidebar, obviously ensuring that it goes straight to a safe place to be stored. I don't want to have this situation again, but I'm going to be getting a different bike. And, you know, now that I've had some time to sort of process what has happened, what I really want to do is give all of you guys and the people who follow these videos, people who like these videos, to have an opportunity to kind of have a say in the direction that this channel goes. So drop a comment below giving me some ideas as to what bike you think would be a good bike next and what bike you would like to see on this channel. I mean, whatever I get next, it's going to be the same type of style, doing a lot of cinematic content with it. I'm going to be doing build series. I'm going to be modifying this bike. I want it to be something that I can do a lot with it and really make my own. So that being said, you know, obviously feel free to drop any bike recommendations in the comments below. I definitely am a little bit biased when it comes to the types of bikes that I like. I've only ever owned Ducatis, and, you know, that's not to say that I'm only interested in owning that manufacturer, but there is definitely a part of me that would like to replace the 959 with something Italian as well. So that being said, I'm interested in a couple different MV Agustas, maybe a Brutale, maybe a Dragster. Looking back again at 1100 Evos, maybe finally doing that custom build that I wanted to do with my first 1100 Evo before I sold it for my Panigale. You know, always was interested in the 1200R Monster, sort of that newer vibe of the Monsters, a little bit more sporty. You know, after having been on a Panigale for a while now, maybe I still want something that kind of packs that punch. So that's an option. You know, is in the same line as the old school vein of the 1100 Monster. 1098 Street Fighter would be something that I'm potentially interested in. Maybe an S4RS if I really feel like going more old school. You know, I'm really open to a bunch of different things, but I would love to hear from you guys and see what you guys think. Drop a comment below. I'll be making this decision in the next couple of weeks, and I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll probably do a reveal of what I decide. But yeah, still just wrapping my head around this here. It's kind of been a crazy past 24 hours. I literally discovered my bike being gone yesterday, and it's unfortunate because I'm looking outside and the weather is really nice today, and it's supposed to be really nice this weekend, and I was so pumped to have my bike up here so that I could finally explore the city. I didn't even get to do a first ride. I hiked up coming up to New York with the 959, and I didn't even get to do a first ride with the bike. In fact, I rode the bike once in general, and that was over to Gotham Depot Moto to check out the shop, and I didn't film or record that because it was strictly just, you know, a spur of the moment, last second thing. Had to get over there, you know, check out the digs. So that's unfortunate. So whatever bike that I'm going to be getting next, that is going to be the bike that I do my first ride in New York City on. So that's this week's video. I'm just gonna kind of end it here. I don't really have anything climactic or anything fun to do for the end here. You know, let's keep moving forwards. Drop a like and subscribe, comment. Let's find another bike, and let's, you know, really turn this New York City trip, and not trip, this New York City move experience around, because so far it has been a difficult transition. But I think things are gonna look up from here. We still have the apartment tour coming soon, and, you know, we're gonna do an awesome reveal of whatever new bike we get. I promise whatever we get for this channel is going to be awesome. You know, it doesn't replace what I've lost in the 959. Really special motorcycle. But onwards and upwards, and I will see you guys next week.